Hello everybody, XJoe81X, right. And on the tubes today, we're just going to take a quick walkthrough of the 2023 Christmas decorations. Every year I try my best to get them up, get them nice, get them working. Now that the kids, they like to look at them, point at them, this is up, this is down, oh hell, let's turn the lights on, do, right? So every year it's pretty much the same setup. I've added stuff over the years, never really took stuff away. And the funny part is I never reflect on the previous year and look at the plugs and say, oh, this is what I did. So basically I just kind of wing it. What we do is we move the truck forward, we set everything up around here, then we kind of just chooch it. I've actually have gotten it done in 45 minutes, but with the kids it usually takes about 2 hours, but it is what it is. Okay, so in no particular order, but in somewhat order, is the first thing is to get the extension ladder and put it in the driveway and chooch the HD digitals. Basically, it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets. It came with 6. I couldn't get the 6th one. Died. I tried to plug it in. I tried to look at it. It's just dead. So basically, what it is it's plastic. There's LEDs inside, and they flicker on and off. I don't know what the staple is of icicle lights that have to do with Christmas. You really don't want icicle lights hanging off your gutter in a normal fashion, because that means that the water is overflowing outside of your gutter. So we've gotten accustomed to like different decorations. It adds to the house, it doesn't add to the house. It is what it is. So basically I start right there in the corner and I go along. I got these white clips. There's a section where it gets plugged in. I go along. Right about here is where I'm Gucci, because the extension ladder, I'm good from here to the end of the house. My wife put her foot and stuff in front, so I'm good for like the first 10 feet. And then she goes and starts at the other end of the property. So we go along here. This year, it's very good. Nothing flipped. Nothing really moved. And then we get a little section here and we get into an extension cord. The extension cord gets tucked into the vinyl siding, comes down, lays on the roof, and gets this plug. So in my array of plugs is the extension cord is polarized, which means one side is bigger than the other. So the middle piece is universal, which goes into the lights, which is basically 2 of the same size plugs. And then we wrap around here. I guess I'll show you where it gets plugged into. Here we go. We get a little thing here. This plug is attached in the attic to the outdoor lights. Did that many years ago. That timer basically is, I think, at 8:12 on, off, dawn, dusk. So I have it set to 8 hours. I find it turning it on at 5, and they naturally shut off at 1 o'clock. Seems to be a good thing for us. So we come out of the very last section, which is hidden by the tree, and we kind of just let it sit there. And it gets plugged in, and it's got a three-way, not a three-way, a three-pronger, and do. So then we basically, we come out of there with a white extension cord. Yes, I left the nest. We come on down, and we have another extension cord into an extension cord. So basically we come out of there, we have a trio. We have a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with no red nose, We have a snowman with a stake that worked this year. And we have a Santa that doesn't like to work. It got a little windy. These things happen, and that snapped. So 3 into 3. This tree is bare. We used to wrap the tree. Just took a lot of time. Took a lot of lights. Almost like 5 to 6 lights, sets. So then we come out of there with a brown one. And we have this tree lit up. And we have that tree lit up. We have a gingerbread man, and we have a mini. This is the setup. The brown comes out. Guess my wife does this. Not bad. Basically, she came out with the green this year. She brought it to the Noel because it's windy. It's windy, and it works out very nicely, if you don't mind. It pretty much likes to stay until it doesn't. Right. So it looks like she came out with a green. Obviously the white comes out. Then she came out of the other thing. She did this tree. And then it looks like she connected it right here. Right there. And then she did this tree. And then what's on the floor. So the gingerbread, Mickey, it's for the kids, So then, that's that side. Then we have this side. I've had this green thing. I think the previous homeowners left this green thing here. It gets chooched into the garage, which I'll show you. Now each year, again, I don't watch the previous year. Yeah, Santa fell. This gets very, you're just kind of like, just plug it in. So the snowman gets plugged into the bottom. Santa gets plugged into the middle. I can't plug the other things in because of the sides right here. So I have an extension to an indoor only, and that's it. So the brown comes out, and this is behind me, Rudolph. The brand, you could tell why I need all this stuff because of this brick wouldn't fit in this plug. So the brown extension cord comes out, goes this way, just lays on the ground, lays right there, and then gets plugged into this, which just started getting like gapped. The gap opens as it rains because it hasn't really froze this year yet. So that does that. Noel, snowman, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, which the red nose actually blinks. This video will be edited, and I will show you what it looks like at night. Santa, we got a spring extension cord that we don't use in the winter. We wrap it around, we go wonky here, we go, and yes, we don't trip. I don't know why. I'm not saying we should, but we don't trip on it. It's kind of one of those, like, you come up here and you're like, so it gets wrapped around. It gets kind of coiled back there, and it gets coiled right there. Whew. And I like to coil it. So what she did this year is, this is actually a holly tree. Bring out the holly. And she actually put lights on the holly tree this year. She normally doesn't. So we came out, as you can see, the first lights do this. I think it's red and white. The second one comes out, and the second one comes out and is an extender. Does this light? Sorry. Then I have an extender because this is a lamp thing from Depot or Lowe's, and it's polarized, so it has it's bigger and it's smaller. This jobber is probably my parents from the 50s and 60s, or definitely the 70s. This thing needs to be taken out, painted. It would really pop if you taped it off and maybe spray painted it red, but It's in the attic. You only take it down when you need it, and when it's lit up, it serves its purpose. So that's the front. And then we have a homemade wreath with lights on it. This extension cord is supposed to be, like in here. There you go, ish. Does that make sense? So that just hangs off the window that I rigged up a while ago. Comes down and it goes into an extension. We don't have, these are the dollar store extensions. It actually has 3 extension cords. This is the oldest thing on the house. These nice little light bulbs. We've changed the bulbs over the years. I want to say like this is an original bulb, and so on and so forth. Maybe that's an original bulb. You could tell, but they make the clear, then they make the painted ones inside. This is nice. That's authentic. Definitely, this is not tricky to install. It's just you gotta have to hold it because it makes those clinky noises. So every year you could tell I'm in the same spot. You could see it's basically exactly what you see. It's just old school Stanley staple gun that you and you have to hold, and just enough where it doesn't short it out. And then when it's done, you just kind of either pull it out like that and it's loose. You could kind of put your fingers behind it, pull it out. I kind of try to accumulate them, throw them in the dirt, throw them away. And then inside is the timer for everything. So that's the outdoor lights. I want to touch upon one thing, is they made something new, or they advertised something new. These little squares, they're on Amazon. They work with your phone. They're permanent. They get drilled into your house, and they stay up all year. There's only one person in the neighborhood that has them. I like them for purposes of not going on a ladder every year, but I did not do research to see if one of them goes out, are they replaceable, or do you have to purchase a strip? Are they 4 feet? Are they 6 feet? Are they 10 feet? Because LEDs, are great, but sometimes they blow out. So if I could mimic and buy them if they're on sale, which they won't, and I just drill them into the house, they're about the size of exact that square. They're white. They have a strip the size of my pinky. There's an app, and they do fancy things. And you could put them on white. You could make them orange for Halloween. You could make them red for Valentine's Day for like one day. It really lights up the ambiance of the day. And it defeats not defeats the purpose, but it stops you from like going up here, because now these got to come down. But anyway, I have to look into that. These are the outside lights. Outside lights. Let's go inside. We do something in the mirror right there. That's Twatty. That's on a timer. So here is the outside. The lights come from underneath. The green big extension cord from the flower bed, and then the green extension cord for the wreath. I know what you're saying. It's kind of an afterthought. Everything sits on the floor, so why is it plugged in there? Over the last couple of years, I don't know, the setup's changed. I've actually had this like picked up, and I've actually had it on the hooks, so that timer is like right here, because this timer loves to not go on at 5. It's like a 15-minute delay. I've not touched it, and every time I've not touched it, it's come on at 5. So I guess for a day or two, for what it's worth, I guess this is what could have happened, right? Now the timer's back on. I originally have it come over, whatever. So when the outside lights go on at 5, when I turn them on, I have to run around the house. And at 5 o'clock, I have to turn this ever so slightly at 5, where the first pin is, and then this slowly turns, and it turns it on. And for some reason, this is just what I use in the garage because it has a plug. Yes, I could plug it into here, I guess, and this stuff would just be, I don't even want to touch it, right? So we have a 3. One is for the wreath. This is for the garage lights, and this is for the whole thing outside. It just sits there. It's out of the way. It just makes nicey nice. All right, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and by the power of editing, when the lights go out and the sun goes in, I will show you what the house looks like with them on. See you in a couple seconds. Hey, look at that. Just like I told you. Just like I promised you. I'm on location. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. All right, this is what the icicle lights do. They blink. Every small one, if you watch it long enough, there's actually a sequence. So every small plastic blinks on top, every long plastic blinks on the bottom, and there's steady lights throughout. Yes, you could see the gaps. You could see a gap there. You could see a gap there. This is, you know, it goes up for a month and a half, if that. The wreath is missing a section that's out. That's for some reason that's always out during this time. I find that the month that it's up, it just gets wonky and nothing is made the way they used to. It literally just sits there. I don't know, whatever. I did not mention this before, but we got new Santa and snowmen. If I remember, I'll put the link in the description of the past years of these videos. The very first year or two, we had 12 footers, which went up to the brick. Last year we had, these are 6.5 footers. I put them on milk crates because when it rains and stuff, everything gets dirty and muddy. These are brand new. The other ones I threw out. And I have to mention something which I forgot to mention before, but I had to do some electrical stuff. I plugged this in and it didn't work. Well, it turned out, which I wish I showed you this before, that I had to just on the fly in the garage connect them. So you're saying to yourself, wait, what do you mean? What happened? What did you do? This piece sitting in the attic or in storage, it frays right here where this big brick meets right there. Maybe the fact that it bends, maybe it's cold, maybe over the year, I can't, whatever. So I had this thing and this thing old. Well, what happens? There's a brick, so I cut it, threw the old ones out. Now I have an extended piece. What is that? Just a wet rock. I have an extended piece. Instead of it being 4 feet, it's now like 8. This could just be left alone. They're out here for a month. It doesn't do any good sitting there, but I forgot to mention that before. Also, Mick Mini had the same problem. So luckily that I replaced these cut the wires off and then fix these two things. So here's the garage lights. The light above kind of takes away from them, but there's only one bulb out. Everything else is on and chooching. I will step back for effect. Here's the holly bush, very thrown together. This line, here it is, Merry Christmas. You kind of don't see the word Merry Christmas, but you get the concept that the snowman is waving. I would love to spray paint it, but that means leaving it in the garage until the spring and then just saying, put it back in. I do like this tree. It's gotten very big over the years. The light layout is very good. It's windy today. Why not? The Knoll lights. That's it. Oh, see what happens is it's windy. It's breaking her back. Breaking your back just to know my name. We do put stuff in the upper windows, but the inside has been slowly taken down. That's why you're not going in. There's the inside tree. Santa, Mrs. and Mr. Santa Claus with the things, the arms that move. I will not be going inside. There's the right tree. Like I said, the knolls have been up for a month, so they've shown it's time to take them down. Santa fell again. I did pick it up, but it fell again. That's a nice wreath. It's the neighbor's house to the left. They got, I like that. This is the other neighbor's house. They got some stuff. Nothing here, nothing there. They got path lights. He's got a big minion with little minions on the top, and my next door neighbor has some things. So we got some houses here. The gingerbread man is not really installed for windage. Minnie is installed. She's good, but the gingerbread man kind of falls forward and back. And then, like I said, the snowman, Santa falls down, and the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer without the red nose. So these are my 2023 December Christmas holidays. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's tacky. Sometimes they get tacky. I think there's just enough, if you really wanted to get crazy, you could do the bushes a little bit better, or you could do the bushes a little more. I mean, whatever. Again, that red and white one really pops. But that's about it. I'm sorry I could pick him up, but he keeps falling. And actually, he keeps falling and the light bulb stays. So that's actually funny. Gingerbread man is down. So this is going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. And I hope you have a merry, happy, healthy 2024. I know we all say that and shit still happens, but I feel like if you say it, it's better than not saying it. Does that make sense? All right, everybody. Take it easy.